Maybe wins and losses are not that important in wrestling, as there are several amazing wrestlers who have more losses than wins, such as Kevin Owens, Edge, Mick Foley, Cody Rhodes, Bray Wyatt, Kazuchika Okada, amongst many others. However, it is always interesting to know the wins and loss records of wrestlers, especially in older promotions such as WCW, because it gives an idea of how a wrestler was booked back then. Legendary wrestlers such as Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Vader, Diamond Dallas Page, and Booker T all worked in WCW, but curiously, none of them appear in this list of the best win-loss records in WCW history. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and in today's video we're counting down the 10 best win-loss records in WCW history, ranked by winning percentage. However, before we begin, just a quick disclaimer, we are considering a minimum of 100 matches in WCW, and these win-loss records are according to cagematch.net. Welcome to the club. In number 10, we have PN News, who had a win-loss record of 91 wins to 33 losses, giving him a win percentage of 71.1%. PN News has been forgotten by the fans, so it's no wonder you're surprised to see him on this list. He wrestled in WCW between 1991 and 1992, and in that short period of time, he managed to write his name in the history books. PN News had 128 WCW matches, of which he won 91, lost 33, and drew 4. He was a fairly decent worker as well, but his WCW career came to a premature end, and he failed to make an impact upon the company. In number 9, we have Johnny B. Bad, who had a 389 win to 139 win-loss record in WCW, giving him a win percentage of 71.6%. Johnny B. Bad, also known, possibly more famously, as Mark Mero, or the husband of Sable, had a good run in WCW. Fans don't talk about him much, but Johnny B. Bad was a great worker. He had several good moments in WCW. Anyway, it's unexpected to see him amongst the wrestlers with the best win-loss records in WCW. He had 389 matches, which he was victorious in. He was looking up at the lights 139 times and drew 15 times, giving him a win percentage of 71.6%. In addition, he was also a 3-time World Television Champion. In number 8, we have Lex Luger, who had a 799 wins to 227 win-loss record in WCW, giving him a win percentage of 71.7%. Lex Luger was one of the most popular wrestlers in WCW history. He worked for WCW for 10 years in 2 different stints, competing in 1,114 matches. His name was written as the Victor 799 times, which must be really annoying for him, because, come on, one more match in WCW. One more W to get to nice 800. Anyway, he was a little on the losing side 227 times and had 88 draws. Luger was the 3rd wrestler with the most wins in WCW, behind Sting and Rick Steiner. It is also worth mentioning that Luger won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship twice, including on a famous episode of Monday Nitro. In number 7, we have Ernest Miller, who had 190 wins to 65 losses in WCW, giving him a percentage of 72.5%. Ernest the Cat Miller wrestled in WCW between 1997 and 2001, and truth be told, he was a terrible in-ring worker. He was a dangerous and sloppy worker who used to commit botches and really hurt his opponents, although at least he was quite charismatic. He recorded a win percentage of 72.5% in WCW, which is amazing considering his skills, or lack thereof. Despite winning most of his matches, Miller did not win any championships during his time in WCW. In number 6, we have Dustin Rhodes, who had a 602 wins to 149 losses, giving him a percentage of 74.3%. Dustin Rhodes, known in WWE as Gold Dust, was not a main event player in WCW, but he was one of the best mid-card wrestlers in the promotion's history. His in-ring work was above average, as his technique was great and he was an excellent storyteller. Fans know that Dustin Rhodes was talented, but they probably didn't realise he was one of the best win-loss records in the history of the company, with 602 wins and just 149 losses. In number 5, we have Scott Steiner, who had 727 wins to 146 losses, giving him a percentage of 76.8%. Scott Steiner formed one of the best tag teams in wrestling history with his brother Rick. The two would win many matches and championships together whilst in WCW. After a long, successful run, Scott Steiner was also successful as a singles star, becoming one of the hottest wrestlers in wrestling. With his incredible physique and his intensity in the ring, Steiner managed to shine on his own. He had a win percentage of 76.8% whilst in WCW. With his singles action, his percentage did drop to 62.1%. In number 4, we have Rick Steiner, who had 902 wins to 172 losses, giving him a win percentage of 77.2%. Surprisingly, Rick Steiner had a better win-loss record in WCW than his brother Scott. Most wrestling fans believe that Scott was better than Rick, and Scott was more successful as a singles star. However, Rick would end up finishing his WCW career with a higher win percentage. Rick's WCW tenure was 1 year longer than Scott's, and that was enough to make a big difference in matches and wins. Rick Steiner won 902 matches in WCW, the second most in the promotion's history, and he posted a winning percentage of 77.2%, which was 70.2% as a single star. In number 3, we have El Gigante, who had a win-loss record of 170 to 25, whilst in WCW, which is a percentage of 79.8%. Giant Gonzalez is one of the worst wrestlers in WWE history. He's probably the worst overall. The guy had no talent whatsoever. He made Great Khali look like blooming Daniel Bryan. However, believe it or not, he has the third best win-loss record in WCW history, hence his place on this list. He wrestled in WCW between 1990 and 1992 under the name of El Gigante and left with a record of 178 wins, 25 losses and 18 draws. Unbelievable, Jeff, isn't it? In number 2, we have Sting, who had 1,174 wins to 218 losses whilst in WCW, which is a percentage of 80.1%. Sting recently retired from wrestling, and he did it in style, as he had one of the best farewell matches of all time. It's crazy to think that the same Sting won 1,174 matches in WCW, the most in the history of the company. In 13 years in the promotion, he lost just 218 matches whilst drawing another 74, which gives him a percentage of 80.1% overall. Sting was always a winner, but beyond his victories, fans will remember him for his enormous contribution to the wrestling industry, and a lot of his wins really mattered. For instance, Starrcade 1997, despite the whole bungled main event bit, if you just look past that. And in at number 1, we have, probably quite unsurprisingly, Goldberg, who had 275 wins to just 22 losses whilst in WCW, with a percentage of 87.3%. Goldberg was one of the greatest wrestlers in WCW history, being one of their truly homegrown stars, and his win-loss record proves this. The man barely lost. Just 22 matches in his entire WCW career, winning 275 matches, which is why he has the highest winning percentage in WCW history, with 87.3%. Goldberg was never the most talented wrestler, but he didn't need to be. All he needed to do was walk to the ring with style, squash his opponent with ease, and walk out, and the fans absolutely loved it. And there you have it, there's our list. So what did you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Which wrestler surprised you most with their place on this list? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click the like button and the subscribe button to make sure you never miss out any of the fun content that we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. If you are new here, be sure to share this video with your friends and check out our other videos. Go on, you'll both absolutely love them. However, that's all for now. So I'd just like to thank you for watching, and welcome to the club. See ya!